So yeah, what I was going to quickly talk to you all about is knowing and growing the traffic to your website. And it's certainly something that we're finding at the moment is people are more and more now realizing the importance of their online presence. And so being able to understand that properly can make you basically make better informed decisions about what you're going to do. Peter, I'm going to throw back to you straight away because it was one of the first things you ever said to me when I started working for myself and I started doing a bit of work for you was, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And so this is one of the key things now that I think, well, I'm a huge advocate, obviously, of all the different social media platforms and all the website things as well. And the amount of detail that you can get into is incredible. And I am going to kind of go through that and show you some of these things. So I'll skip through these bits. Hopefully everybody in the group knows me, but I'm Rich from Quick by Design, head of digital marketing. We do all those different things, website design, SEO, and as head of digital marketing, that's me. So those are the sort of things we can do. I'm just going to share with you some screen grabs of some ads and activity for online that we've been doing for some of our clients recently, just to show you the level of detail that you can go into with this sort of stuff, so you know what's working and what isn't, basically, and how you can make these informed decisions. So this slide here, we've been running an ad for somebody. He does fitness, but it's a fitness app for golf fanatics. So it's golf fitness. You can download the app on your phone, and so he's a bit like the Joe Wicks of golf, and he can get you fit, and it's giving you activities to do at home. We've been running an ad on Facebook, and you can see here the stats. Now, we have been targeting men, which is why it's only men that have been seeing the ad, but then you can see the demographic of men as well that have been the age of the range of the men that have been interacting with this ad. So you can see clearly the most kind of effective area has been men aged 45 to 54. That's been, we targeted all men, and we saw that straight away, and then already we could reduce the targeting down again, because we could say, okay, let's go from men, say 35 to 55, because they're clearly the ones that are being targeted. Now, with some of these things, we find that he probably may have said that anyway. He probably would have had a bit of a hunch that is his kind of target market, but it's quite nice to have it in stats so you can confidently say, okay, we are going to make this decision now, and we are going to refine our marketing down to these areas. It's nice to have those statistics to back up any kind of hunches or theories you have on the best thing to do. So you might be able to see it through. So it says playthroughs. That's basically about people. That's the number of people that have watched more than 15 seconds of the video. So it's nearly 14,000. And this is the interesting one that we've seen, and I'm using this a lot as our example at the moment, because when I speak to people about social media, particularly Facebook, a lot of people will immediately, and probably a lot of you already sat there now thinking, we're B2B, we don't have to worry about, we don't bother with Facebook, because that's just a place where people post videos of cats and what they're eating for lunch. We're B2B, we're on LinkedIn and maybe Twitter, but Facebook we don't need to worry about. This graph here that you can see, there's 4 different areas that Facebook own, and it shows you where these videos are being watched. Now you can see there's a clear winner here, which is what's referred to as audience network. Audience network is places on the internet that Facebook own that aren't Facebook. So Facebook own Facebook, obviously, and they own Instagram, and they have Facebook Messenger. So those are 3 channels that people could have seen his ads. But because it's been a video ad and the way we've set it up, you can see the vast majority of people have been seeing these ads on Audience Network. Now, Audience Network, like I said, is other places. I've got the list, although I didn't want, it's too long to include into a presentation. They basically give you a list of all the websites that your ad has appeared on. And with this ad, because it's a video ad, the majority of places that Audience Network, where it's appeared on, has been Google Play and Apple iTunes. Now, the reason it's those 2, it's a short little ad. And if you've ever downloaded an app from any of these places, you have to sit through a video before they let you watch and do the thing. If you're in his target audience of men aged 45 to 54 interested in golf, and you've downloaded any app, you've probably seen his video. So this is how it works. These people aren't necessarily on Facebook all the time. They're not seeing these videos on Facebook. It is out there on the internet. And although I keep saying it, it is by far one of the most baffling things for me, how underutilized and underappreciated Facebook is as a tool to promote your business. People just still, you can't grasp how big this thing is and how much of the internet it owns. So you can run ads on social media, you can run ads on Facebook, and you may think, oh yeah, but we're B2B, our target audience aren't on Facebook. They probably are. 95% of your audience are usually on Facebook, and these people don't even need to be that active and that are on Facebook that much. If you've got your marketing right and the placement of your ads right, they're going to see it because of this clever little thing called Audience Network. So that's one of the things I kind of wanted to get across. The other thing that the ads can show you as well is video views. So you can see there the drop-off rate of how many people are watching them. Probably what's happened here is you can see it really just, I mean, that's quite alarming. It doesn't normally stay that high for 50% of the video and then drop down. It's usually earlier than that. But because these videos have been placed on Google apps and iTunes apps, you probably have to sit through 30 seconds of the video before they let you play the app, because that's usually what happens with these things. They won't let you move on until you've done it, but you can still see there that you are really able to track all these different things, from where the ad's being placed, how many people are seeing it, how long people are watching it for, what's the drop-off rate, are they men, women, age, all this data is there all the time for you, available. The other thing I wanted to share with you, Zell, just some stats that we're doing as well. It's going to highlight some of the Google stuff. So this is an ad that we've been running recently for a local company. What we're seeing at the moment is the amount of visibility and traffic you'll get into a website can be quite high. That is a lot higher than we normally would say. My usual kind of forecast is if you spend £100 on Facebook, you could expect to get between 8,000 and 12,000 people see the ad, and probably about 300 people click on the link, roughly speaking, as a kind of broad industry level. You can see at the moment it's almost double that. And I think most of that is to do with the fact that more people are spending more time online. However, what we're seeing is it's not necessarily converting, it's not doubling the amount of conversions. So a lot of people are spending a lot of time online. They are consuming a lot of content. They might not be in a position to buy at the moment because of the current climate or whatever it might be, but they are visiting websites and they are consuming things. And if you've got your marketing plans in place, you will be able to capture these people and remarket to them and all those kind of clever things. Picking up on Google Analytics just for the last few minutes, this is the other thing I just wanted to highlight. So with Google Analytics, you're able to track a load of things, you know, and if this is the sort of stuff you're interested in, to be honest, I'm obviously always happy to help any members of the practice understand some of these stats themselves, or if you don't want to listen to my dreary tomes, just Google it. You know, there's loads of how-to guides on to set Google Analytics up. But here you can see for this website that we were running those ads to, that you can see the traffic, where the traffic's come from, and you can also set up what's called conversions, which is goals. So you basically say to Google, if anybody ends up on this page, usually /basket or /checkout or /confirm or /contact us, whatever it might be, consider that a goal or a conversion. And then you can kind of bring the whole thing back in, and then you can see where the majority of your converted traffic comes from. So obviously organically, that's still a huge one. Although we've been running the ads and they've been driving a lot of traffic to the website, the conversions from social one aren't massive, probably as much as you would expect given the amount of traffic that we're driving to the website. But interestingly enough, and this is the one I think that really highlights it. So this is a comparison of those different channels: social media, organic, which is people typing in probably their name into Google or something similar. The blue bar is the kind of like this week, this kind of last few weeks just gone, and the orange bar is the week before, but basically before we started doing the ads, before we started doing the social media ads. So you can see that there has been an increase in the amount of conversions that have come directly from social media. So they've seen the ads, they've clicked on it, they've ended up on your website, and they've bought the thing, and they've done it all in one motion, and that's classed as a conversion done. But just look at the level of conversion for organic search in the same time. So although what you can read from this is, yes, for 40 quid, we sent, however, it was nearly 800, 900 people to his website. Not all of them converted directly once they ended up on that website first time, because they might not have been ready at that moment. But in the last in the difference in between the 2 weeks of the amount of organic traffic to his website that have converted is incredibly different. And you can't tell me that's not to do with the ad, because that's the only thing that's changed on their website. They haven't done anything differently with the SEO. So the social media ad has done its job in terms of raising the awareness. You know, they've reached 22,000 people. It's generated 800 clicks to the website. Not all of them have purchased or made that commitment there and then. They have gone away and then they've come back. They've thought, oh, what's the name of that company again? And they've gone in via normal kind of Google ways of typing it in. They've ended up on that website and then they've converted. It does kind of show a hole in the system that it's not always that easy to track exactly where leads are coming from, but you can see there the huge difference in the conversions from organic traffic. And the only thing that's different is we've been running that ad. So the thing I wanted to get across with all of this really was the level of detail that you can go to on these things. And another example that we've done recently is we've been doing some work for a solicitor's firm, and we've been running some ads for them. And it's interesting what Claire was saying about getting more into employment law stuff. We've run this solicitor's firm got 5 different kind of areas of service that they wanted to promote. So we've done 5 different ads promoting those 5 different services. All the ads have had the same amount of money spent on them, and 4 of the 5 ads have had probably between 20 and 30 people visit the website. The ad, which was talking about employment law and that they're able to advise on employment law, had over 400 people click on that ad for the same amount of money. So it shows you, and we've been able to go back to the client and say, clearly the one area that people want help with at the moment and your advice on is employment law. So if you're going to start writing more blogs, or you're going to start talking to people about any other things, start offering more advice around employment law, because that's clearly the one that people are interested in. Now, like I said at the beginning, you may think, well, given the circumstances with furlough and everything, that's fairly obvious. Probably is. It's quite nice to have it in hard stat form that you can actually make some decisions with, and then go back to your wider marketing plan and say, right, for the next 3 weeks, we're going to be writing blogs about things you need to know about employment law, because we know now that the analytics there on social media and Google are telling us that that is what people are clicking on. That is the hot part of our website at the moment. So we're gonna quickly adjust and really push that instead. So hopefully that just gives you a bit of an overview. But really, that all this information is there. Some of the paid ad stuff I accept, you know, that's stuff that people pay us to do, but you know, those sorts of things are there. But Google Analytics, that's all there. There's no trickery in that. That's just, you know, set it up on your website, or, you know, I'm happy to help people understand that more. But in this time, you might maybe hitting that pause button and reflecting on where your business is, knowing your stats, not just trying to improve or increase the amount of people that visit your website, because that is what everybody is trying to do at the moment, but understanding who these people are and where they're coming from will help you make better decisions about how to get the more of the right people there. So hopefully that's a bit of a whistle stop, speaking at a million mile an hour as I always do. But yeah, hopefully not just growing, but knowing who your traffic is to your website can help you inform the decisions that you're going to make about how best to get more of the right people to your websites. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Rich. If you could just unshare the screen again for a second.
I will stop it.
Okay, so wave at me if you got some questions. Well, round of applause, everybody. It's very good. Nicholas, very good. Anybody got some questions? Wave at me if you have. Yes, Ian White, where you go.
Well, just say Rich, he's doing some work for us, so it's quite hot for us right now that some of those things he's talking about, and it's going to be good. So it's probably a question, Rich, in terms of your website itself. When you're driving it, what kind of content is the people first see? What is it you can do with your website that helps people once they get there?
Yeah, so a lot of what we're seeing at the moment is that people are spending a lot more time online, and they are probably more in a position to consume content. People, I think, as a whole, want almost like leadership throughout this whole situation, even if it's within a little niche thing that you're doing. That just people being able to just to be told what they need to be doing and a bit of guidance on it. The example we always refer to at the moment with our clients is we always talk about Martin Lewis. You think about the position that he has in the, you know, and how people look towards him to demystify some of this stuff that's coming out there. So if you can kind of be the Martin Lewis of your own kind of little area, being within your industry, within your kind of low geographic area, I think that really helps. So I sometimes feel a bit of a cheat saying that, because that's kind of the advice that any marketing person would have told you pre COVID-19 issues, to be honest. But I think it's just really heightened it at the moment, that you've probably got more time to consider what you offer and maybe write some more content pieces around the benefits or why people should be doing that. And people have got more time to kind of take that on board. But certainly having pages that are about one particular thing that they can just understand and take that and have some advice, and don't be afraid to kind of give that advice away. The other thing, Ian, I know, because what we're working on with it as well, is having an actual destination that you want these people to go to. You know, we've been working with people with running some ads, and they still don't really have a page to send them to. We can send them to the homepage, or we can send them to something which is kind of roughly about what they're going on about. They don't need to have landing pages, which we are doing with other people as well, but to have a dedicated place they can go to do the thing you've just asked them to do. So obviously how we're setting things up with using things like Eventbrite. So if you do want to book on an online course, you go and use things like Eventbrite. You can use it for free as long as you're not charging somebody. Eventbrite's free to use. So sending people to a particular place, and you can track them to that particular place, and if they did the thing or not, is better than throwing them at your homepage and just hoping they find their way, because people do get distracted very easily, and they're not sure what they should be doing. So sending them to landing pages or specific call to action pages is probably the good thing to do.
Any other questions, everybody? Wave at me if you have. Melissa, yes, where you go.
Can you get the same kind of analytics from Facebook? So we were talking earlier about me going on Facebook. Could I get sort of data out of that to tell me things?
Yes, you can. So the graph we showed, which was the male-female split thing, Facebook will tell you that as well, in terms of how many people, of the people that like your page or of the people that are seeing your posts. It'll also tell you how many people have seen your post and if they clicked on it, all these sorts of things. Facebook is probably the best for analytics out of Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. The thing is, it's quite hard to get those analytics, because Facebook pages are quite hard to get people to see unless you're going to share them personally or share them into groups. But Facebook ads is a very, very good way, and I would kind of urge everybody not to rule them out. A very, very cost-effective way at seeing things. We've done one for someone, a company in Birmingham recently, and they've spent £80 on an ad, and we've been able to get over 1,500 people to their website. What it's done is highlight that there's issues with their website, but they've been able to realise that and fix those things, for the sake of 80 quid, and they have got some business from it. But so that the stats are there. The stats are there. You do get probably better stats from ads, again, because you're paying for it. but yes, Facebook as a whole is pretty good for analytics. And I can show you where to click if you need to, if you're curious about where to go.
Thank you.
One last question from somebody, if there is one. Wave if there is. If not, we'll move on. Looks like it. In that case, Rich, thanks very much indeed. Brilliant as always. Really